Hello and welcome. In this video I'm going to review this stick concealer from Shiseido. I've been wanting to get into stick concealers for a while now because most of my most used makeup nowadays are stick formulas, both foundation, blushes, bronzers. Almost eyeshadows nowadays as well. So stick concealers is something I haven't been testing in past 30 years. When I was young we did have these very dry stick concealers that were meant to conceal mostly pimples and things like that. So I've been really wanting to test this, and now when I saw this one in Shiseido's shelf in store, I was really curious, and I swatched it there, and it felt really creamy and emollient and also pigmented, so I was really curious. I picked the shade 11. In our store there was only two ones, and this was the lighter one, but I think there is more shades. The claims in this concealer are that this is should have superb blendability, for perfect coverage, smooth texture, adheres to flawlessly to the skin. Funny thing, it says avoid contact with eyes, so I don't know what is it supposed to be concealer other parts than under eye area, but I used it today only on my under eye area, so you can here see the result of it. But there is definitely some thoughts and experiences when I applied this on, so let's go to that part now. I have already washed and moisturized my face, and I did use this Pekka primer for this side of my face. This is a primer I use almost daily with my concealer because I have so dry skin that I kind of want to protect my skin from the drying effect of the most of the concealers I use. There is only few concealers that I can use without that. For example, the Tarte Creaseless Concealer is one which is very emollient. So I have high hopes now that this concealer would be rich enough in emollients that I could use this without primer, but we'll see. I'm going to use this kind of paddle brush. This is from brand Kicks, but pretty much any paddle brush would be good. I'm going to use this because I know that this is great with more thick formulas. And I have the concealer now here, and I will take it. I'll test it this way first because I want to see how easily it rubs off from this. And I start with the side that I did not prime, so this is the reason why I wanted to test it. Not applying here but through this brush, because I wanted to see how good coverage there is without the effort that I push it against to my skin. So even the lightest touch from the brush to the product gave me this much coverage. So this definitely has a lot of pigment in it. As you can see, it does shear out when you apply it to your skin, so I'm happy to see that if I want a very sheer coverage, I am able to have it. But let's see if this builds up. I'm going to apply more. With this I use more kind of tapping motion than dragging, because it is so thick. I'm pretty sure that it would just move and not stick to its place. It did build up. It's still not full coverage, and I don't usually like full coverage concealers, so I don't mind that. it looks really, really beautiful. And what I like in this, that it looks very kind of moisturized concealer. It doesn't look dry at all. And as you can see when I turn my head, that there is that little bit of glow which comes from the moisture and the kind of emollients in this product. What it means is that this is prone to creasing. We'll see during the day how it goes, but at least for now I really like how it looks. It already started creasing, so this is not for you if you want to avoid creasing. But if you have dry under eye areas, I think this might be really great one. But let's test it with the primed side. So again, same thing. I'm very impressed about the pigmentation in this product, so I'm sure that if you want to have a full coverage, you can just wipe it straight to your under eye and even it out, and you will have great coverage. This primed side, I used the same amount of product that I used to this side at the first time when I applied it, and you can see the difference that already this side is way more full coverage, even though it's not yet full coverage, but it's more opaque than this one, which has 2 layers, and this has only 1 layer. So there is definitely a difference with the primed side to the non-primed side. Let's see. This primed side is more matte than this non-primed side. It's because of the primer does give you that kind of mattifying effect, even though it's not drying mattifying. It just gives it makes your concealer last longer, so it's what it does. This is more natural looking side, and this is more like if I want more coverage side. I need to build a little bit of coverage to this side now, so my face will be even. Let's see if it... As you can see, you can build this up for sure. And there is a lot of pigmentation, so... And still this side looks quite natural, even though there is now 3 layers of product. So I'm quite impressed. Now that I don't have any other makeup on, this looks really yellow on me. It does look more pink in the package than it does on my under eye, but I think that when I apply rest of my makeup on, the situation will look different. But I'll apply the rest of my makeup on now, and I'll come back with things. I'll come back. Huh? I've had this concealer now on for over an hour. It's been an hour since I applied it first. The thoughts are now pretty much the same. It does crease, but now it's not anything major anymore now that I have powder on. Still, this one, which is primed side, does look more dry and more obvious kind of, and I wouldn't say cakey, but more makeupy. As this side with no primer, I think there is a tiny bit of less coverage, but it does look much more natural. When we consider the fact that I don't usually wear full cover makeup, and I don't usually like full cover concealer either, this is not my preference look for makeup. It's too much, but I'm quite sure now that this is perfect concealer applied just a little bit on no makeup days, for example. I will definitely try it like that, and I will post on my Instagram later my experiences with this one, and I will, if I just remember, I will add my comments to the comment sections below when I have tried this more. But for now, after 1.5 an hour, I am happy. It feels good. Usually concealers do feel dry on my skin, so this one doesn't, which I'm very, very happy about. It does look good. Let me check close up now. The difference has been getting smaller, so both of these sides look quite the same actually now. I think it's because it has been warmed up against my skin for over an hour now. So I'll keep this on now for this day. It's now to 1:30, so it's Sunday. I woke up late, but I think I'm going to have this on at least for 8 hours today, so I will check up later how it looks. And rest of my makeup, I tested today this concealer from L'Oreal, this Infallible 24-hour wear makeup, and I'm not full coverage girl, so this is not my first choice, but it does look, after I used my fixing spray or setting spray with a glow in it, I do like it, but without it, it was just too dry looking on me. But I can imagine that it's very, very long lasting and looks great, this foundation. On my eyes, I used one of my favorite eyeshadow palettes lately, this one from Essence. It's the Hello New York palette. It has gorgeous cool toned shades in it. The pigmentation is there. They are still very dry compared to other my favorites, for example Anastasia eyeshadows, but it's much better than Essence eyeshadows used to be in the past. So this one is on my eyes, and on my lips I have Shiseido lipstick. This is the Modern Matte Powder Lipstick in shade, no it's not this one. This is the Visionary Gel Lipstick, and the shade is Pink Dynasty 207. I did apply just a little bit of a darker lip liner on top of it to the edges of my lips to give a little bit of depth and more cool toned, but on the center there is that shade. But I will check up later how it looks, so we know how it wears during the day. I've had this concealer on now for what it is, 5 hours, and I just checked in on my Miru, and I have, let's see if my camera focuses this close. I have major creasing on my eyes. Here I haven't on this side too, so this side is the one which I primed, and this one is the one that I didn't. It's major creasing. Let's focus again. It is major creasing, but it's actually nothing unusual to me, because I have fine lines. I'm 40, so usually during the day, now I haven't checked up my makeup at all during this time. Usually I would have done that and just set those creases away, so I wouldn't say that this is nothing unusual to me, especially thinking remembering the fact that this is more full makeup than I usually wear. So I'm still quite positive with this concealer, even though there is this kind of creasing effect happening. But I think this is a concealer that you must use very thin layer and when you want to have a natural finish on your face, not when you are building up this. So I think I can safely say that this is not for people who want full coverage. There is better concealers for those. But we'll see what happens. I will do so that I will set away these creases and leave this on. So in the evening I will know what happens, if this is okay still or has it creased again. So I will check later again. Alright, it's now almost 9 o'clock in the evening, and as you can see in Finland the summer is coming. It's still light outside. After a few months it will be around 11 when the sun goes down, so there is still more lightness to come. But this concealer, oh, I did my nails today. I just checked this situation, and as I told you before, I did have creases on both eyes or under eyes, but I did smooth this then, and then now there isn't. Let's see if this will focus. Yes, as you can see, there isn't that much now anything here. I didn't do anything to this side when I checked up earlier, and as you can see, these creases are still there. But well, let's see. It will focus soon. It hasn't got any worse, so no problems with that one. Both sides look quite good considering the fact that this has been on for 9 hours now. So 8 hours. Usually my under eye area is much more dry looking, so I really love that this is moisturizing. And even though I used powder and primer, this side isn't either that dry looking, so it's going well. So as a conclusion, I would recommend this concealer if you want light layer but a lot of pigmentation and natural looking under eye area, and if you have dry skin, maybe normal skin. To oily skin I don't think this will work, and if you are looking for something which is more full coverage, there is better options than this one. But here we are. I hope you enjoyed this review, and if you have any requests for videos or reviews or products, or if you want to say hi to this furry thing, leave a comment below, and I hope you have a great day and see you next time. Bye bye.